All right, boys and girls. So I took a glance at this slate last night before I went to bed, and I can already tell you that it's going to be a little bit tricky. Got Luca at 11-1. Looks like a great price, but remember he got Clay now, and you still got Wemby on this slate. You got Wemby and Jokic on this slate, so Luca's not a slam dunk like you think. You got to be very careful with your lineup construction because if you go too deep into value or to certain bench players and they don't get the minutes that they got last year, you're gonna be straight fucked. You know, like some of you were last night. Cause I already know what happened to some of y'all lineups last night. Especially if you play like Golden State, if you play like Portland. I knew Jabari Walker was popular. He played 7 minutes in garbage time. I already know what it is. So be very careful with your lineup construction, and be very careful spending for spend ups and not leaving yourself enough money for decent decent value that you know is going to play um, good minutes. Luca 11-1 fire his ass up. SGA 10K absolutely in play. Fox 8.5 in play. Remember he has DeRozan now, so you got another player that it's going to be high usage and going to take some shots. Kyrie 7.5. He's an okay play. Jordan Poole. He said he's nice. I don't know what that means. I'm not interested in Jordan Poole, to be honest with you, especially against Boston. I told y'all Jason Tatum was going to come out angry, and he came out on a different level. Um, I'm not fucking with Boston right now. When I say that, I'm not playing players against them like that. Maybe Kuzma if I'm desperate. I don't want no Jordan Poole against Boston. Not while they're still in their little mode. Jamal Murray, very, very, very lackadaisical last season. Maybe because of his injuries. That's fine. 7.3. Fire him up. I haven't heard any injuries from him lately, so he should be good to go. 100%. No excuses. Derek White's in play. Drew Holiday's in play. Chris Paul, they're acting like this is like some reincarnation because he's paired with Wemby. Yada, yada, yada. 5,900 is still a little pricey for him. If he starts, I'll take that shot, but I'm not sold that Chris Paul's going to be some fantastic player this season. If Chris Paul starts, might be RIP Trey Jones because he's going to come off the bench and play 24 minutes, if that. DiVincenzo, I don't mind going back to. Conley is in play. Westbrook never really gets a lot of minutes off the bench, no matter what team he's on. Jamal Murray's the starting point guard. I don't see them running Murray and Westbrook. I think Christian Braun is going to start in the backcourt with what's his name? Murray. If I think Braun and Murray is going to start in the backcourt. Let's check. Murray. Yep, Braun, Porter. All right, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of Westbrook and Murray on the court together. I don't see it. So that's going to limit my Westbrook exposure. If you think something different, put him in your lineup. No problem. He's not a bad player. I just don't trust his minutes like that. Gaston Wallace, I'm not interested in. Pritchard, if I'm desperate. Walker Alexander, if I have to. 14 minutes. I'm not going to let the 14 minutes scare me away. If he's my last man in, okay. But be very careful with your value pieces. The rest of these guys, I can't tell you to play. All right, let's go to shooting guard. Anthony Edwards coming off of a loss, should be motivated. 8.8. He's got no choice but to go into gorilla mode. Fire his ass up at 8.8. Brown in a blowout, 8,200 had 38 fantasy points. Fire him up. Klay Thompson 5.9 is still a little bit pricey. Remember, he's not going to give you much rebounds. He's not going to give you much assists. He's got to hit all his threes to pay that off. I'm not really interested in Klay Thompson. He's in the player pool, but I'm not interested in him like that. Pittsburgh against Boston, no thank you. 5.8, still pricey. You're pricey, and you're going up against Boston. Double whammy. Malik Monk is coming off the bench. Fox, Herter, maybe DeRozan, Sabonis, Monk. What am I talking about? Sabonis, Glenn. They look a little bit thin. I did notice that last night. So this is what we're going to do. Malik Monk's in play, even if he comes off the bench. Caruso, 4.8K. He's absolutely in play. Lou Dort if you're desperate. Koulibaly if he starts, if you're desperate, only because of his price. And he doesn't need to score to get fantasy points. That's the only reason I'm interested in him. The rest of these guys I'm not touching. It's going to be very tricky. I know there's people out there that, especially newer fantasy players, they want to hear me tell you to play, Doug McDermott. Go play Quentin Grimes. That's what people do. I'm not going to do that to you. But they're not going to get a lot of minutes, and they're not going to give you any fantasy points. Then the night's going to be over. You're going to have big fat zeros across your board, and you're going to be curled up in bed with your finger in your ass, mad at the world. I'm not going to do that to you. Tatum, 9.3, disrespectful price, too cheap. I'm shoving them up my ass. Pause. Kuzma, if I'm absolutely desperate, but I'd probably rather drop $200 and get to DeRozan. Jalen Williams is in play. Keldon Johnson might come off the bench, but he's in play. Michael Porter Jr., 5.8 in play. I'm playing guys. I played guys last night that I knew were going to get minutes, and Steve Kerr still bent us over the rail with his 12-man lineup. I warned y'all in the first video, be careful with Steve Kerr. I warned y'all specifically, and he still was able to bend us all over. Yo, I'm not even going to go into that. 12-man lineup? Wait, see, now I'm mad. Let me ask you a question. If you're playing ball, you're running 12 men, how are the guys that you want to get acclimated? How are they supposed to get a rhythm if there's 12 men playing? That's 5 starters and 7 bench players. Yo, that man needs to be not even investigated. He needs to be studied. There's nothing about betting. It's nothing about it's nothing to do with that. He just does shit his own way. McDaniels if you're desperate. Harrison Barnes, very risky. He's 4.5K for a reason. Herder, I don't mind. I think I said that already. It was Champagne. Is this Julius? Julian. You got Julian and Julian and Justin. Wow, what a time to be alive. If Julian from San Antonio starts at $3,800, clench your fists, close your eyes, squeeze your butt cheeks together, and pray to God that he doesn't kill you, but he's an okay play. Aaron Wiggins should be a good value piece, but you never know nowadays with the OKC bench. Anything under Wiggins, I'm not touching. You know what? I'll probably not even get to FanDuel, but if you have any FanDuel questions, throw it in the chat. Before I go to Power Forward, if you're new here, welcome. Appreciate you taking time to watch my video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up the video. If you're struggling to cash, no problem. I can help you. Check out the Patreon link in the description. Check out the channel memberships right here on YouTube. Super chats are open. Everything else will be in the description if you have any questions, or you could throw it in the chat. I got you. Or you could DM me on Instagram, DM me on TikTok, DFS_Chapo. All right, let's go to Power Forward. Let's wrap this up and let's get out of here. Sabonis at 9,500, absolutely in play. Julius Randle, he didn't have 44 fantasy points against the Lakers. 34 fantasy points against the Lakers. That's what I thought. All right, Julius Randle is 7,800, and he's due for a big game because he has to show the world, like he has to show Minnesota what he's about. Cause that first game was pretty lackluster. Now he did go up against Anthony Davis and the Lakers, so I get it. I'll give Randall one more chance. Holmgren's in play, Aaron Gordon's in play, Alex Sarr. I think he's in play because this should be a blowout, and he should get some run. But he's 6K. Grab your calculators. I want you to multiply 6K times 6, or how much value you think you want out of him. If you want 5.5 times value out of him, if you want 6. So go 6 times 5.5 or 6 times 6. Obviously, it's 36. If you think you're gonna get 36 fantasy points out of him, then play him. Feel me? Who is this? This is Keegan Murray in play. Horford's in play. Naz Reid's in play. PJ Washington is in play, but you got Clay now taking more shots. Sohan's in play. Very disrespectful price. And Trey Lyles is in play because they look pretty thin. Sacramento looks pretty thin. Big Jokic, 11K. Absolutely in play. Nothing to talk about there. Wemby at 10.7. Wemby's absolutely in play. Wemby's going to take it to a whole nother level. I probably just save $400 and play Wemby. But Jokic is going to have his way in OKC. There's going to be no Hartenstein. Not like Hartenstein, some defensive monster, but he's a big boy. He takes up space in the paint. Jokic is going to have his way. Wemby's going to have his way because he's a sensational generational player. Gobert's in play because of his price. Valanciunas, what's Valanciunas going to do? What's he supposed to do? He might be in play because what else is he going to do? Just get fantasy points. But it still is Boston. Very careful with that. Zach Collins, not really interested in. Lively if he starts. Bagley if you're desperate. Gafford if you're desperate. Don't know Saric's rotation. Don't know his minutes. He looks good at 43, but I don't know anything. I don't know what he's going to do, and I'm looking for a big ass. I'm looking for a big main slate win tonight, so I'm not playing with no unknowns. You feel me? That's about it. Listen, I'm gonna go on to get out of here. I do appreciate y'all taking time to watch the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Very important, so you know when I drop these videos. If you don't subscribe, more than likely you're not going to know when I drop the videos because YouTube's not going to notify you. So make sure you're subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Patreon link in the description for those of you that, you're not familiar with building NBA lineups and you want help. I'll send you my finalized optimal lineups. Check out the Patreon. Check out the packages. Very, very affordable. I charge a month what most people charge for a week or a day. So just take a look at it. Channel memberships are right here on YouTube. Super chats are open. You guys are amazing. Good luck to you. Hope you had a profitable Wednesday night. And I'll talk to y'all later. Ciao.